As unemployment skyrockets around the country, leaving so many wondering what's next, Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary is here with some advice on how to help turn things around. We have to say good morning to Kevin. Good morning, Kevin. Thank you for joining us. And Kevin, things seem really grim right now. The Department of Labor's monthly jobs report is coming out later this morning. Yesterday, the report came out showing that 6.6 million Americans filed for unemployment claims last week. But in actuality, its numbers may be higher than that. So what trends can we expect in the next week or the next months ahead?
Unfortunately, this is probably going to continue for a while. And what's remarkable about the world markets, all eyes are on New York City now. I call it the Como Index or the New York Index. Everybody's trying to figure out when this virus is going to slow down and plateau in New York. The way to look at New York, Manhattan's a giant cruise ship, 70 stories high, very densely populated. And when news gets better in New York, the whole world is going to feel better. That's what's going to happen.
And, you know, Wall Street, obviously, speaking of New York, taking a major financial hit, with March being the worst month since this financial crisis. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropping below 19,000, as you're well aware. One viewer, Pete, now, with that in mind, is wondering if it could make sense to invest right now. Take a listen.
It's tough to ignore the daily news on the stock market. Is now the time to invest? Take advantage of the low share prices, or is it too risky?
Kevin, for those who do have some savings, some money in the bank, what do you suggest? Should they invest?
They should, but they've got to do it over time. Nobody can guess the bottom. The markets are fairly volatile. I suggest taking 10% and putting it to work each week. I don't like to pick stocks. I like exchange-traded funds because you get a basket of stocks, and, you know, the one I use, I'm not telling people to buy it, but quality really matters now. You need good balance sheets. So OUSA, I helped design that with FTSE Russell, or OGIG, which captures all the giant internet companies. That's going to be a big trend. But 10% a week so that you average in is the right way to go. And I think the markets have taken a huge correction, and they may fall more. But on the averaging strategy, you're way better off.
All right. And then you say that we could come out of this with a new way of investing our money. How so?
Well, I think what's going to occur here is that a lot of people are going to start thinking about whether they want to buy bonds over stocks, because we've seen an unprecedented decline in the interest rate in a treasury, for example. A 10-year treasury yields less than 1%. It's 0.58%. So maybe coming out of this, good quality companies that pay dividends may be a better investment. And so instead of the old classic 50-50, half bonds, half stocks, I think owning great American companies through a recovery are going to give you a little better return, in my view. It's a personal opinion, but I'm certainly skewing my investment that way.
And Kevin, our next question comes from Leanne on Facebook, who writes, state licensed, self-employed child care provider here. What benefits are out there to help my business with loss of income? I'm indeed an essential worker that should be open providing for children. However, many parents are working from home. What advice do you have for her?
Definitely communicate with your customers. Talk to them every day by email. They are your customers. They care about you. Many providers like this have been being successful, having their customers give them digital assistant for pay. And the other big news is last night, Sheryl Sandberg went out there on national TV and announced that she was going to be supporting individual contractors like this with a $40 million grant from Facebook. And you can get information about that at a company called Eureka.com. That's the company that'll be curating it. And the other way is to use crowdfunding. I saw you threw up that graphic. Companies like Start Engine now are raising money for individual businesses by individuals investing in very small amounts at a time. I think that's fantastic, and that'll be the new way that a lot of companies raise money. Crowdfunding equity. You know, back in the old days, in the last recession, or 2008, we got Indiegogo and that kind of thing. Now we have stuff like Start Engine, which is a new platform. Every time there's a crisis, new solutions emerge.
And every time you give advice, it's great advice. Kevin,
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us on this Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.